All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you out here to Winter Field for a little 1A state football action here in Strasburg, Colorado, between the Strasburg Indians and the Burlington Cougars. I am joined on the broadcast by Jeremy Bongard to my right, and to my further right, Damon Johnson. Welcome, fellas. How you doing?
Good to be here.
How's it going?
Good to be here.
Well, we open with the 2-15 matchup here between these two teams tonight. A team in Burlington that gets into the playoffs with a 2-7 record. Great strength of schedule, probably one of the toughest schedules in the entire state. Played in the best league in the entire state. I call it the Northern League still, even though they just call them like League 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever now. Yeah. But, forever it was the Northern League.
Yeah.
And they struggled to win a game in the Northern League and didn't win a game in the Northern League. But played teams very tough that we know are state powerhouses.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you think Strasburg needs to look out for coming out tonight against this 2-7 Burlington Cougars team?
Well, I look back at the early part of the season when they played each other in preseason, and they talked about their physicality. They're big, they're strong. So I looked for them to expose that with their speed, being able to get around the outside. But I also know that offensively and defensively, a lot has changed for Strasburg since the preseason, since we first saw them at the beginning of the year. So, I think they just stay with what got them here. Run the ball, be fast on the outside, and play solid defense, and not give up penalties. I think that's the key.
Yeah, Damon, going to you. What do you see? I'm gonna put you on Burlington's side here. What do you see that Burlington has to do tonight to make this a game and not let Strasburg run away with it?
I think really one of the biggest keys is going to be controlling pace of play, right? Controlling the line of scrimmage will be huge for them, which is going to be tough. Strasburg is tough in the front, in the trenches. So for Burlington, they're going to have to control the pace of play. They're probably going to have to go at a little bit quicker speed than typically they do, because I think if you let Strasburg sit back and kind of strategize between each play, that's when you can get in trouble against Strasburg. So it wouldn't surprise me to see them run a little change of pace, maybe a little hurry-up pace. Not full hurry-up, but definitely more rapid.
Yeah, when I was looking at the matchup and kind of going through some of the stats and things like that, one thing that popped out to me was Strasburg needs to act like they've been here before. They're the more experienced team. However many years in a row they've been just in the state playoffs, but they advance regularly. Okay,
yeah.
They've been here. And the other thing is they can't overlook this Burlington team, because at 2-7, I in my heart, I think that this Burlington team is going to be the toughest team we've seen in probably 6 weeks, maybe even longer, right?
Yep.
I think we could all agree that Strasburg pretty well dominates that the league that they're in right now. Most league games, pretty much all the league games, I don't think our starters played in the fourth quarter. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they did or not, So Strasburg has to fight that urge to overlook that record. Yep. I think that Burlington's probably better than their record would indicate.
Yeah, when you play teams like Holyoke, Wiggins, Lyman, Yuma, I mean, that division is stacked. So
absolutely,
you get the best week in and week out. So
all 6 teams from that league made it into the playoffs.
That's shocking.
That's
right?
crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got regularly 4 of the 6 teams in that league are usually ranked.
There. Yeah.
Want to go through a little breakdown here at Burlington. Looks like they're leading passer, Richardson, 42 of 73 on the season, 634 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 12.2. It looks like they throw the ball a little bit. He's hooked up with about 8 different receivers on the season, it would appear. So, Damon, in your mind, what is Strasburg's? What's their defensive backfield got to do tonight to make sure that he doesn't expose any weaknesses we may have back there?
Not give up the outside, I think, is key. When you get really any quarterback, but especially at this level, if you can get them throwing to the inside between the hash marks, I think that benefits you, because in there, accuracy has to be, you got to be on point.
Yeah.
And so if you can keep the outsides protected, make them throw the ball to the inside, opportunities are going to open up for interceptions, tips, deflections, those kind of things. So to me, in the passing game, making sure outside the hash marks is kind of locked down is going to be key.
Yeah. Looking at their rushing attack, obviously Strasburg is one of the best running teams in the entire state. If you look at Burlington, they kind of have a three-headed monster when it comes to the running game. Richardson from the quarterback spot, 76 carries, 466 yards on the season, 6.1 per 7 touchdowns. He is their, it looks like, most dangerous threat to run the ball.
Right.
Conradi, 76 carries, 330 yards, 4.3 per carry, 3 touchdowns. And Vela, 78 carries, 313 yards, 4.0 per 3 touchdowns. Their 3 best runners, 76, 76, 78 carries. Very balanced. Jeremy, what do you think about their rushing attack for Burlington?
I think you look at their offense and that run-pass option, and you look at a lot of the teams we've played all year. They have that three-headed monster with a running quarterback, 2 backs. And especially I think to touch on what Damon said about pace of play, the running game comes into play for Strasburg because it's 2 guys with Devlin and Marrero, but then the defense has also got to be ready for 3 guys. So the linebackers are going to be key, I think, for this to stay home with the quarterback, but also be able to extend the line of scrimmage, move down the line, and hold those runners.
It would look like on the receiving end, number 23, Boyd, is their top receiver. He's definitely their big play guy, 23 per catch, 5 touchdowns on the season, 19 catches, 451 yards. They throw the ball and they spread it very, very well. Aside from Boyd, they really don't have anybody that threatens Strasburg deep.
Right.
So that would probably be one of their main keys as far as the defensive backfield. When I was looking through things, thinking about what does Strasburg defensively do to shut down Burlington, number 1 is don't help Burlington.
Absolutely.
Stay away from the silly penalties. Stay away from the penalties that are drive extenders. You don't want to jump off sides on a 3rd down and extend a drive for. Make them earn everything. And do everything you can to not help Burlington ever be comfortable tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You talk about Boyd. I watched a little film on him earlier in the week, and what I noticed is the teams that were able to limit him in his production played man up and over the top zone. And so they were basically doubling him and forcing them to throw it somewhere else. And he had most of his success outside. So that's why I said, I think keeping it inside the hash marks is going to be huge for Strasburg.
It would appear that he's their deep threat. Just by looking at the stats.
No question.
Not really knowing a whole lot about him, just by looking at the stats, it would appear that way.
Yeah, no question about that.
Which I think secondary-wise is the Strasburg's strongest part of their defense.
Yeah.
With the upperclassmen, with Zach, and now you get Caleb Hart back in the backfield in that secondary, but you also have Austin Velasco and Hayden Turner, who have shown that they can pick the ball and they've gotten better in that coverage sense. So I think that's good for them.
Defensively, number 25, Gutierrez paces Burlington with 93 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 interceptions. Conradi, 66 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Richardson, 56 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions. And then Vela, 58 tackles, but 5.5 sacks. Offensively, where is Strasburg going to have to try to expose Burlington?
Yeah, that's a really good question. If I had the answer to that, I'd be on the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think with what you want to do is you want to stick to, Jeremy mentioned it earlier. I think you stick with what you do. Strasburg is really good at using their speed outside, and they can run inside. And honestly, I think Thomas Devlin's going to play a huge part in how this thing, and he always does, right? But today, especially against this team, I think what he does inside the tackles is really going to kind of set the pace for how the offense moves down the field.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think we'll step away here for just a second while we have the national anthem, and then we'll get back going, pick up right after that, go through some of Strasburg's offensive and defensive stats before we get started here, okay? We'll be right back.
for him. I'm like, go back to him. I said, go back to him right now. Right now. Do it right now.
All right, and we are back live here. Going to go through Strasburg's offensive and defensive statistics here real quick. Number 2 quarterback Landon Martin, 47 of 80 on the season, 742 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, throwing the ball at 15.8 per clip. Running the ball for the Indians, very balanced, very dangerous attack. Starting with Zach Marrero, 114 carries on the season, 1,187 yards, 10.4 per attempt. That's an outstanding average. 20 touchdowns on the year. Thomas Devlin, he is normally kind of Zach's. He's kind of Zach's the thunder to his lightning. 65 carries on the year, 471 yards, 7.2 per. Very physical runner, 11 touchdowns. What role are those 2 lead running backs going to play tonight, guys?
The biggest. It has to be those 2. They have to set the tempo. They have to, Zach's outside, Thomas inside, and they have to they have to make it off balance for Burlington.
Yeah, I think, Thomas Devlin, you're right, thunder to the lightning, right? But I also think because Thomas runs the way he does, he just wears a team down. And I think it'll really show up, going into the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Little pooch kick there, huh?
Burlington starts things off, like you said, with pooch kick. Not a great one. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And Strasburg might actually just end up taking it where the ball crossed here. Strasburg on offense first. I said just a minute ago, Landon Martin, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the season. Been very careful with the ball managing game, very, very well. It's going to be big for us going forward as we advance throughout the state playoffs.
Absolutely.
Oh, 1 second here.
They said it went out on the – did they take it?
Wow.
They get it at the
Hold on,
35,
or they get it where it went out. I think Strasburg's going to prefer to take it where it went out right there.
Yeah. The official came in from the other sideline and said, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here?
There we go.
There, okay.
That's where they had it marked out. Strasburg will exit the huddle. Landon Martin under center. Thomas Devlin directly behind him. Here at the low part of the screen, 2 wide receivers, Hayden Turner, Caleb Hart, Zach Marrero in motion.
Marrero inside.
9 yards. Great carry by Zach.
Yeah.
First contact for him was 8 yards, so the offensive line doing their job right there.
Yeah. That's, Zach hits the hole very, very well. He sees the play develop as he's coming to the line, which I think is kind of something you either have or you don't, right? And Zach definitely has that.
Absolutely.
Well, and the other thing, too, Zach's been dealing with that toe injury that he got early in the season. I think he's finally getting healthy.
Yeah.
And you're seeing him get back to form again.
Hayden Turner in motion. Thomas Devlin, the lead back for Marrero. Breaks the tackle into defensive backfield all the way down to the 31-yard line of Burlington. That is going to be about a 15-yard pickup for Zach right there. He's so hard to bring down. I mean, first contact rarely goes down on first contact.
Yeah. Shifty guy, very, very kind of fast twitch speed, and that wrestling background obviously helps him. He understands center of gravity.
So balanced.
Yeah, very balanced.
And another key here with Thomas in the run game, he sets up the block so well.
Yeah.
And creates the hole for him.
Landon Martin under center. Devlin behind him. Marrero in motion. Give is to
Tommy.
Devlin.
Knew that was coming.
And again, first contact is 12 yards down the field. He'll carry a defender with him for a 17-yard gain all the way to the 16-yard line of Burlington.
Strasburg couldn't have asked for a better start right here to come out just like this and just pound the ball. This is what they needed.
What's happening is not just the skill guys. Jeremy, talk about our offensive line up front.
They're creating gaps, and they're doing a really good job at pulling. And, on the line, they're getting a good push. So as this ball is snapped, they're creating the gap for the guys to go, and then they're holding their guys, so they're not letting them through.
Absolutely.
Good defensive play there by Burlington.
Yeah, Strasburg keeping it on the ground. Just a 2-yard gain right there. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Tackle on the play by Angel Vila.
Tackle right there by Angel Vila, and we talked earlier about him being their leading sack guy.
Yeah.
What's he have this year? 5.5?
5.5 sacks on the year.
5.5, yeah.
The other thing that Burlington doesn't want to do here is start filling in the middle, because then Strasburg going to the outside. So they have to stay balanced, and they have to, cover both outside and inside.
Little play action off the I formation.
Now.
Ball
out.
is loose, and that is going to be recovered by Burlington. It looked like we missed the edge rusher right there on the play action. Could have maybe been a missed assignment, but it's going to be 1st and 10 Burlington at their own 22-yard line. They kind of avoided disaster there, as Strasburg looked like they were just running all over him.
Yeah. Tristan Esquivel was the one that made that play, number 15. I think, if we could see the replay, I could tell you, but it looked to me like they brought an odd man blitz on the outside and got around the.
Oh, wow. They're going to say Landon was maybe wrapped up. Strasburg retains the ball.
Oh, wow.
I guess they were going to say he was controlled, wrapped up.
And their coach is saying, wait a minute.
Yeah, we have a little conversation going on right here. Well, again, Thomas Devlin directly behind Landon Martin under center. Caleb Hart, closest receiver, low here. And we're just going to kind of wait until we've got everything settled. All right, Martin under center. Toss right there to Marrero around the left side. He is going to be bottled up after a gain of probably 2.
Yeah, Burlington pursued that well.
Down to about the 23-yard line. Burlington looked like they were ready for that one.
Yeah. Looked like they had some advanced scouting there and kind of knew what that look was going to be. So pursued that very well, though.
Their linebackers and their outside backers are a little bit quicker than some of the guys that they've seen over the last several weeks. So
absolutely,
that's going to be an adjustment for Strasburg and their offensive line. So
Strasburg's going to go 4 wide. Martin in the shotgun, flanked by Devlin. 4th down and 15.
Look for that slant right over the middle.
On the run, and that's going to be intercepted.
Be
Landon's first interception of the season. They're going to be returned back out to the 18-yard line, and Burlington will take over there.
Was that 23? Was that Logan Boyd? I think it was.
Yeah, I think I missed who had the interception, but you're probably right.
I think it was Logan Boyd.
Well, not the way you wanted to see that drive end.
Not the way you wanted to see it end.
Basically marching between the 30s. I mean, there was nothing Burlington could do to stop us between the 30s, and you get behind the chains, and that type of thing tends to happen.
Yep.
Take over 1st and 10.
Nice crowd tonight. Beautiful night. Kind of chilly.
Absolutely. I mean, before this wind started, it was as still as Christmas Eve. I mean, it was 37 degrees out here.
Yeah, it was nice.
But that wind bites right there. Burlington in the shotgun. Almost an offset pistol. That's what it would look like. Give right there is going to be number 3, Garrett Richardson. So when you're going through the stats, Burlington looked like they used 2 quarterbacks during the season, Angel Vila and Richardson.
Yeah.
They both had stats. So kind of a funky formation with an offset pistol, the quarterback in the shotgun. Big wide receiver down here to the bottom. Going to look like a little bit of a matchup problem for us, maybe possibly at times, but Dalton Bergstrom's got him.
Yeah.
Nice job there by Jesse Hilton.
Yeah, that's a big kid, number 22. That's Yanel Ornelas.
Gotcha.
So.
And I actually didn't see him in their stat sheet, so maybe not getting as many thrown to him as Boyd and Conrad are. So Burlington's going to face their first third down here. Sorry, 3rd and 6. Ball's going to be at their own 19-yard line. Ball at the 22-yard line. Excuse me. Again, Burlington from the gun, 4 receivers. Vila's going to roll out to his right, looking for somebody there, and there was just nowhere to go there. Thomas Devlin very physical with that wide receiver right there, Gutierrez, and he just couldn't separate. Going to be 4th down.
Yep, 4th down. So Strasburg will get it back. So the interception goes unpenalized, which is huge, especially when you get to this time of year, right? The playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Jeremy, as someone that's been a head coach even at the middle school level, how big is it for the defense to come up with a stop like that after an offensive turnover?
I think it's big because I think it sets the tone for the offense, like, hey, we got your back. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
We're going to help you out. This is a team effort. We're not going to rely on you to do everything. And so I think it's really big to come out and make that statement right away. So
that punt will go out of bounds directly in front of us at the 50-yard line where Strasburg will take over. Short field. You like to have that offensively to start a drive. Strasburg's going to break the huddle. I formation behind Landon Martin, who's under center. Closest to us, Caleb Hart. Bottom of the screen. Toss to the left side to Zach Moreau. He's got a few blockers out in front of him. Cuts it back up, and he's going to end up picking up about 6 yards there on 1st down.
Yep, nice run. Nice run.
Strasburg's wide receivers really value blocking. It's something that's kind of overlooked. And they take pride in it. We probably run 75, throw 25, but Strasburg's wide receivers understand that they have a big part in our perimeter running game.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's encouraging, right? I mean, you get at the high school level, guys want the glory.
They want to shine, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rough job, right? That's the job no one likes to do, but it's critically important.
Martin under center again. In motion is Turner.
But it's also key you have unselfish play because you're bettering your team anyway.
Absolutely.
So you want that unselfish play, and not one guy is going to make the difference. Or we talk about Marrero and Devlin and Egan and Dalton Velasco and Land. I mean, they all play a key part, and they're all key players, and they're all special in their own right. But it's all those guys combined that make this team, and so everyone's got a role and a responsibility, and I think that's key, and you got to understand and know that.
3rd and 4 here for the Indians. Martin under center. Going to drop back. Finds Turner on
That'll be a 1st down anyway. Still on his feet.
Still on his feet.
Yeah.
He's going to end up with about a 9-yard gain right there and Indians 1st down.
Yeah,
it looks like what you had said earlier that Burlington is extremely prepared for their perimeter running game right now. They're doing a great job not letting Strasburg get around them, get to the outside of them, and they're pursuing. They're pursuing multiple guys to the ball every single time.
Yeah.
1st and 10 Indians at the Burlington 37. Martin again under center. Motion guys Turner. The give will be to Turner.
Oh, big
Devlin
block there by
leading
Thomas
the way.
Devlin. Look at that.
Nice
Still
block
driving
by
him down the
Devlin.
field.
Tremendous blocking, and that's going to be a 6-yard pickup for the Indians.
One thing that Burlington's doing right now to contain that, they're bringing their safeties down and helping on that outside run. However, they can't keep doing that, because as soon as Strasburg notices that and realizes it, all it takes is one, flag route or, a slant and go or something, and they're giving something big up.
Yep. And the guy you'd be looking to do that to is the receiver at the top of the screen, Austin Velasco, number 32.
Yeah.
Big-bodied junior. Give is to Marrero up the middle, and he's going to carry a couple Cougars with him to about the 22-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for the Indians. Going back, talking about Austin, what a rangy physical athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous hands for somebody his size. He's the Indians' leading receiver on the year, 18 catches, 346 yards, 19.2 per, and 5 touchdowns on the season. So he's definitely a kid that made the Burlington scouting report, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed.
And I think he's got three defensive touchdowns, interception returns for touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he can find the ball.
Martin drops back. He's going to look out here to Turner, right along the sidelines. Nice little pickup on first down of 6 yards. And they're getting ahead of the chains. Stay ahead of the chains. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and if you can run and average 6 yards a clip every time you do that, which is about what they're averaging right now, I would imagine, somewhere around there, maybe a little more, that's huge.
And then
that's huge.
you dictate what the defense does.
Yeah, absolutely.
2nd and 5 here for the Indians. Martin will again be under center. Velasco up top. Martin flanked on both sides by Marrero and Turner. Turner in motion. Turn and give is to Thomas Devlin. Bounces off 2 or 3.
Still
Burlington Cougars still on his feet carrying the pile, and that's going to be inside the 10-yard line. A host of Cougars in on the tackle there. You know, I'm noticing that it's hard to pinpoint who is getting all the tackles for Burlington because it's taking multiple guys to bring down Thomas and Zach.
It's a gang tackle kind of night. You know,
Yeah.
anytime you face Strasburg and guys that run as physically as Zach and Thomas do, yeah, that's a gang tackle kind of thing. Officials are talking here. They're talking about the ball being out.
Oh, wow.
Saying Thomas fumbled that, huh?
No, I don't think he fumbled. I think
They stripped it away?
When he turned around and started driving backwards, they ripped it out.
So it's going to be another turnover inside the 10-yard line, and the Indians right now, red zone offense, getting there easily, finishing not so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Burlington's going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 11.
Yeah.
Well, that's a testament to how tough Burlington plays. You can see that. I mean, they're physical kids.
Yeah.
You know, they're not afraid to get up in your face and hit you, and it's showing. You know, and Strasburg's going to have to work that out. Coach Brown can't be too happy about that right now.
No, 2 tremendous drives that have ended in turnovers here. All right, Angel Vila in the pistol is going to send number 3 in motion here. Number 3 being Richardson. Turn and give to Conradi, the big running back. He's going to pick up about 2, 3 maybe, to the 14. Physical runner.
Yeah, big kid.
You also can't let your defense get in these situations too much because we're lucky that this is on the Burlington side of the field, but this happens on our end, you know.
It's trouble.
Yeah. And you don't want to take turnovers and convert those to points because those sometimes are game changers.
Yep. Vila looking to throw to the outside to Richardson. He's got a host of blockers in front of him, and that's probably going to be Burlington's first down right there. Looks like a pickup about 7 on the little quick screen to the outside. 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Strasburg has moved the ball at will, but have shot themselves in the foot in the red zone.
Yes, absolutely. I got to think the talk traffic on the headsets right now is fairly animated.
Let's take care of it. Take care of it.
Yeah.
Vila again in the pistol. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 to the Indians' 25, just a little past 25, maybe the 26-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to roll, and not a familiar position for Strasburg right now, being 0-0 this close to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Well, this is where you see what you're made of,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
This is where you see what you're made of. So, got to guess that they're going to adapt and make the changes necessary to convert the next time they're in that position.
Angel Vila again in the pistol. Richardson right behind him. He's going to fake it and keep it himself, and that's a great play right there.
Is that DJ Cannon on that tackle?
DJ Cannon, absolute tackling machine coming in.
Thomas
Kind of
Devlin on that as well.
kind of stepped into a larger role about three, four games into the season. Talking about DJ. But tremendous tackler, active, always around the ball.
Yeah, has a nose for it, sees it well, reads the play very well. Lateral movement is strong. You know,
Absolutely.
He's a good player.
Strasburg paced on the season by Zach Rushman, 44 tackles on the year as the leading tackler. Vila's going to send Gutierrez in motion. Snap rolls out to the right. Looking, and he's going to complete the pass to Gutierrez. Flag down on the play, though.
Penalty.
That would be a first down, but we're going to wait and see what the flag is. Burlington looks, they're not really trying to extend the field. They're really not trying to throw much vertical. They're kind of picking their spots on the perimeter. But this will be a tough situation for them as they are called on a holding. And that is going to bring up about a third and looks
about
like
about a mile.
17, not ideal.
No, especially
just 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, especially this deep in your end.
I'd look for Strasburg to bring a little pressure here.
As the end of the quarter.
Well, there's the end of the first quarter. Not much as far as scoring. Strasburg dominated offensively. I mean, moving the ball. And again, we just talked about shooting themselves in the foot in the red zone. Got to clean that up, and I think that they'll be okay. 0-0 the score at the end of the first quarter here. We will be right back on the other side of the beginning of the second quarter here. All right, we are back as we haven't quite started the second quarter yet. Jeremy, go ahead and read through the people that make this thing possible.
Sure, thanks for our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. If you or your business are interested in becoming a sponsor, contact Strasburg Booster Club at gmail.com. The Strasburg Veterinary Clinic, owned and operated by Dr. Reed Hinks, your hometown veterinary clinic. Strasburg Vet Clinic is a full-service mixed animal practice that has served the I-70 corridor for over 75 years. Located at 56-151 East Colfax Avenue in Strasburg. Call 303-622-4415.
All right, we are back here. Burlington, 3rd and 17. Vila in the backfield. He's going to be. He's going to have Conradi and Richardson. Sends Richardson down to the left. Low snap. Fields it well. Steps up. Looking deep
downfield,
and the wide-bodied receiver he's big, but he's not moving real fast right there. Strasburg had him on both sides. Great coverage right there by Dalton Bergstrom.
Yep. Yeah, that was they telegraphed that play. It was pretty obvious that was what was going to happen. They were going to try to stretch that field.
It looked like Vila kind of locked on to him early, and it just stuck with him.
Didn't look away. Didn't go to a second read.
Did a great job fielding that snap because that could have been disastrous because that thing rolled back to him. So Burlington punting here from basically the punter has his heels on the goal line.
It should be again more good field position here for Strasburg. They've got to capitalize with this good field position.
Yeah, you start inside their end of the field. This is where you got to convert.
You guys are actually reading out their middle school's roster for Burlington.
Oh, it was what was on Max Preps. No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, we're good. It was what was on Max Preps.
Yeah.
If
do you have an extra one of those? Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, Martin under center. Devlin directly behind him. He's going to send Turner in motion. Turn and give to Devlin up the middle again. Going to pick up about 3 here. Burlington is getting a little A little tighter, locking up that middle a little bit more.
I think Strasburg's setting them up. If I had to guess.
It would look like the play action. I mean, it would look like the play action's got to be there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you can see, I mean, their safeties are down, they're sucking in, and as soon as they hand that ball off, they go to the middle. So I think it's coming.
I mean, you got 7, 8 in the box right now.
Yep.
Right now. And there
Play
it is.
action, there it is.
Down the field.
Yep.
Velasco's got it.
Absolutely. Tremendous throw.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that is going to be a 39-yard touchdown from Landon Martin to Austin Velasco. A big play, and we were just talking about it. Jeremy, you noticed. I mean, they were only one high with their safeties in the back, and they were bringing the other one down in run support. And Strasburg hit him over the top for a big play right there. And again, to our big play wide receiver, Austin Velasco.
Yeah.
Well, you know what this part of the game is, Mr. Automatic, Julian Valencia.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I still think that at the 1A level, Julian's one of the best kickers in the entire state.
I agree.
And I think he's going to do something big for us at some point in November.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. It's going to come down. It's going to fall on his shoulders,
Absolutely.
So at some point.
So the book probably around the state is stop Strasburg's run. They have not proven they can throw the ball, and right there we use the run to set the ball or to set the throw up. A beautiful throw by Landon, great protection, and Austin sold it. Looked like he was going to that next level of block, and then straight down the field. The passing game is going to be big for the Indians going forward. I know their bread and butter is running, but they are going to have to throw the ball to advance in the playoffs. The most balanced teams always win the state titles.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Getting back to the personnel for the Indians, the receivers, again, we talked about Austin. Our running backs, Zach Marrero, Hayden Turner, they also play a big role in receiving for the Indians. Marrero's got 8 catches on the year, 4 touchdowns through the air, along with his 20 that he has on the ground.
Those are just huge numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, huge numbers.
Valencia tees it up, near side hash at the 40.
And you talk about those numbers and the league that we're in, and he's only playing a half, generally, of football. So, those are numbers you see for a half of football.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Big return right there for Gutierrez.
Yeah, you look at that replay, you see Thomas he sucks inside a little bit, loses outside contain, and that's what opened that up.
Showing a little speed there. Gutierrez, a little speed on the perimeter right there. Tightrope the sidelines, and Burlington will have their best starting field position of the game so far. 11:19 left in the second. Burlington Strasburg leads 7-0. Vila in the pistol, 4 wide. It's going to send Richardson in motion. Little option. Right there to stop. Great job by the Indians. That's going to be number 50, Zach Rushman, the most active tackler, I would say, for the Indians on the season.
I agree. The kid just moves. Just got a nose for the ball. Ball carrier, whoever's got it, he's going to find him. It's nonstop. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
Yep.
Ball at the Burlington 41-yard line.
Of course, another addition we got this week. Coach Ross is back on the sideline with us, so he had to leave last week. Him and his wife Haley had their baby, so congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say goodbye to sleep.
Yeah.
Richardson again in motion. Turn and give is to Richardson. The Indians are there, and he is going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Whole host of Indians. I mean, the penetration right there in the middle was tremendous, and they were in the backfield. Let's give me a loss of 2 on the play. Bringing up a 3rd and long for Burlington, and we talked in the pregame, Burlington cannot leave themselves in these positions throughout the night and expect to keep this close.
Yeah, you get into 3rd and long like that, your offense, your selection of plays becomes significantly smaller.
Yeah.
And really, it just shows how well Strasburg plays on the defensive line. They're controlling the line of scrimmage right now on both sides of the ball.
Vila again in the pistol. Receivers tight. He's going to send Gutierrez in motion. 3 high. Waist high snap. Rolls to his right. Looking for an open receiver, and what a great one-handed catch by Richardson as he goes down the right sideline. And that
Still
is
on his feet.
going to be a Burlington touchdown.
Oh, my gosh. What
a play.
catch.
A super athletic play.
Yeah, Garrett Richardson on the catch there. Wow.
And Strasburg secondary kind of got a little bit exposed there.
Was there a missed assignment? I tried to see the replay there, and I couldn't catch it. Wondered if there was a missed assignment somewhere in there.
It looked like we went for the interception and didn't get it,
yeah.
and then that kind of left us at a little bit of a disadvantage as far as numbers in the defensive backfield.
But again, this is where you've had two opportunities inside your red zone. You've turned it over,
Yeah.
and so this is where those plays come back to bite you. You're in a tie ball game, and you've given them life again. So those turnovers are key.
Yeah.
So
Extra point is up and good, and we are tied with 9:29 left in the second quarter. Jeremy, do you want to get back to a few of our sponsors there?
huge Indian thank you to the two new barbecue grills at the football field and the softball baseball field. The grills were donated by Braden, Jason, and Kinsey O'Malley Brewer. Thank you for supporting your Indians. Look East Realty is your local expert in buying and selling homes and vacant land. Tanya Stevens is always friendly, smiling, and ready to help in a no-pressure atmosphere, so you get the best deal and the right deal. Tanya Stevens lives locally and knows the Strasburg community because it is her community. She cares, so call her for all your home and land buying and selling needs. Call now for a free home evaluation, 303-726-7779. Meet Tanya and see why Look East Realty is not just the best at negotiating your real estate deal, but making your deal a positive experience. TBK Bank offering a wide range of personal and business services, checking, savings, loans, and digital solutions to provide convenience for life on the go. With the resources and experience to make a difference, our bankers stand ready to meet your financial needs and help you in your journey forward. Located at 56641 Colfax Avenue in the heart of Strasburg. Call 303-622-6598.
Well, after a scoreless first quarter, in less than 3 minutes, we have 14 points up on the board between the two teams. Back to receive the kick, number 17, Hayden Turner, to the right, where he will be gobbled up by numerous Burlington Cougars there at the 28-yard line. So, Strasburg in an unfamiliar place.
Yeah.
This is where you find what a team is really made of. You know, we talked about how easily they've played their conference games, and now you play a team that they play the toughest conference in the state. So
absolutely, they've been through the gauntlet.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah. When you talk about a 2-7 record, that is not a 2-7 team right there.
No.
Turner in motion, and it looks like we've got false start on the Indians. Don't help.
No.
You do not want to help. You don't want to help Burlington. And of course, I'm going to refer to something basketball, but you refer to the NCAA tournament, and they say all the time, the longer you let the lower seeds hang around in a game, the more confidence
absolutely
that they start to pick up, and the tighter the favorite gets.
Yeah.
You'd like to see the Indians control the rest of this second quarter and be in a comfortable spot going into halftime.
Because here's the other thing, Burlington gets the ball at half to start the second half. So if you give them some momentum and you give them a lead, that plays a key.
Martin under center. He's going to drop back. Incomplete. He had a lot of pressure in his face.
Yeah, he did. They stunted over that center there. Created a little bit of pressure.
Looked like big old number 77 got in there and got his hands up and kind of disrupted Landon's passing lane. 2nd and 15 for the Indians. Ball at their own 24-yard line. I formation again. Devlin directly behind Martin. Marrero further back. Turner in motion. Toss near side here. Blockers out in front.
There is a flag as well from the far side of the field.
Tremendous defensive play right there.
They're going to get encroachment.
Tackle on the play by number 23, Logan Boyd.
It was going to be on Strasburg, I think.
As we await the call here. Big play right there by number 23 Boyd to get around Devlin, the lead blocker, and get into Marrero's feet and make that tackle. Going to be an illegal shift, so Strasburg didn't get everybody settled, it looks like. Declined on the play. The result of the play is going to be a 3rd and 15, maybe let's call it 14 for the Indians. Marrero wide low, Hart wide high, Turner in the slot. Devlin directly behind Martin from the center. Drops back, he's got a lane, he's going to have to make a guy miss, and he's not quite going to be able to get out of the reach or out of the grasp of that Cougar defender. Gain of 5 yards, and it is going to be a tough decision right here. 4th down, 8 it looks like, and they're at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, Trenton Smith on that tackle. You know, Landon, pardon me, he had a lane. Just couldn't make him miss, which is kind of, I mean, that's a big guy, you know. Usually big guys aren't as nimble as he proved to be right there.
Yeah.
So.
The Indians are going to take the option to punt here. Back deep is Gutierrez for Burlington.
Egan Stevens is going to punt here.
High snap, fields it. Gets the kickoff, very high kick. Gutierrez gets under it, fields it. And he's going to be stopped right there, basically at the 43-yard line. Austin Velasco on the tackle.
Big hit there by Velasco. Great coverage on the punt, really.
So Burlington, again, is going to have it in great field position. Their own 44. Their first 3 offensive drives, they really struggled to move the ball, and then they hit that big pass on the last one. I'm not going to call it a lucky play. It was a tremendous play by the wide receiver. But he made a great play, and then we missed a couple of tackles. What's Strasburg got to do here with this last 8:05 defensively to make sure that they don't let Burlington take the lead?
You're going to have to create some pressure, have to clog up the middle, force the ball to the air, try to get them off of their game. They obviously like to run a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to get them off of what they like to do. Try to get him pressure, and then try to get him to, under pressure, hopefully lob one up and convert that into an interception would be my guess. Jeremy?
Yeah, I think so too. And you got to watch the middle, high, low routes here, because I think that's what happened on that last play. You had a guy underneath on a 5-yard out, then you had a guy slanting across the middle, and then the guy in the middle route, and that's the guy that caught the, he's the one that caught that pass, and they caught him in between 2 coverages, low and high.
Yeah.
And so I think you really got to watch that.
2nd and 9 here for Burlington. Going to hand it to the lead back, which is going to be Conradi. Pickup of 4?
Yeah,
we'll call it
4. Yeah, early in the pregame we talked about it a little bit about trying to keep the passes to the inside of the hash.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're going across the field like that, things tend to open up a little easier for quarterbacks, right? And obviously, it was a fantastic play by Garrett Richardson to make that catch. It was an unbelievable catch. Mm-hmm. But I think you got to keep them inside. You can't let the outside get exposed like that.
Sure.
Vila in the shotgun. Sends a receiver low. He'll drop back. Got time to the outside, and that one's going to bounce. That's a tough throw to make all the way across the field from this closest hash to the far side. Dalton Bergstrom, great coverage there again. And it's going to be 4th down. Interesting call coming up right here, maybe for the Cougars.
Well, you see him bring Richardson down, and they had that 3 set here short. And I think that's kind of what they did on the other side. When they scored that touchdown, they were on the far hash.
Yeah.
They went 3, and you could see here they had a short, middle, and long route as well.
Vila back to punt. Burlington choosing to play the field position game here. That's going to bounce and roll to the 26, and that is where the Indians will take over. 6:25 left in the second quarter, 7-7 tie.
Great game so far. Let's see. Score should probably be higher than it is.
Yeah.
Blue Halo Homes are a proud Red sponsor. The team at Blue Halo Homes does more than just buy houses. We also sell wholesale properties, partner with local agents to expand our network and provide investing opportunities for private money lenders. Call 303-457-1181. 2020 I venues, friendly and knowledgeable staff. We'll get to the play here.
Gotcha. Handoff to Zach Marrero around the left side, lead blocker Devlin. Marrero is going to stay up.
Still on his feet.
Jumping. and picking up about 13-yard gain on the play. Got a flag late coming in. I was noticing before we ran that play, I really like the matchup with Austin Velasco on the near side down here.
He's
with
got
Boyd.
length.
Boyd looks like a little bit of a smaller defensive back.
Yeah.
He's got length, and it looks like they're letting Boyd go one-on-one with Velasco. Doesn't really look like he has safety help over the top.
Yeah, I mean, Austin is such a long guy. He's fast, you know.
He's deceptively fast because he's so big that he gets somewhere quick, and you're like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and he's got a huge throwing window for Landon Martin. I mean, Landon is a very accurate quarterback, but he doesn't have to be perfect when throwing to Austin. Austin, his catch window is just huge. Yeah. So the penalty's waived off. The Indians will be at their own 41, 1st and 10. I formation, Martin under center. Turn and give to Marrero around the right side. He is going to take a few Cougars with him, and he's going to pick up 7.
Marrero's one bounce away from kicking one.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
He's close. You can almost feel it. You can just see how he's moving in there, and it's close. It is very close. One miss. He's just got to make one man miss.
We're going to have 2nd and 3 from the 48-yard line of the Indians. Martin again under center. I think this is the most we've seen Landon under center in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Devlin directly behind.
You see it with the tight formation.
There it is. There it is right there.
Morel's going to break tackle. He's going to be out to the races. 15-10, 5, and pulled out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Big run right there by Zach Marrero.
Huge run. That was Rowdy Humrich on the defense right there. That kid has some jets because he came from the other side of the field.
There are not a lot of kids in the state catching Zach Marrero from behind.
No.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Yeah, that was a terrific play, but we just said it was close.
Yep.
And there it was.
Indians with some tempo here, looking to no huddle.
Third time's the charm, hopefully.
Yeah. Martin under center again. Turner in motion, turn and give to Thomas Devlin. He's going to pick up 2. Looks like it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2.5, 3-yard line.
Do it again.
As the second quarter clock continues to roll, 4:50 left, 7-7 tie.
You know, that off-tackle run right now is working.
Yeah.
Inside.
Well, and what I noticed was Burlington sent a blitzer on the right, on the left side of the Indians' line, and we hit the right side, and there was a lot of open space there for Zach. Again, wideouts tight. Martin under center. Turner in motion in the give, or excuse me, Caleb Hart in motion in the give.
Oh, timeout Burlington. Okay.
All right. So we'll take a timeout here for a second. In the game only. We'll stay on here. 4:24 to go in the second quarter. 7-7 tie.
2020 Eyes venue, friendly and knowledgeable staff are able to care for all your eye care needs, as well as offering a full selection of fun and stylish frames. Located at 1506 Main Street in Strasburg, call 720-405-2020 to schedule your appointment now. Living Springs Vet Care is always a great day at Living Springs Veterinary Care with affordable health and chiropractic care, specializing in pets, horses, livestock, and exotics with full-service medical and surgical care, as well as grooming, daycare, and boarding. Mobile and emergency care available. Call 303-644-3337. Western Hardware, Strasburg's local hardware store since 1972, open 7 days a week for all your home improvement needs. Call 303-622-4414. Every time I get to this one, it's really long, and I don't know if I should read it because they go out on the field.
Both teams are going to break their huddles on the sideline. We'll come back here. 2nd down, goal from 3-yard line for the Indians.
You have to convert this. You have to score a touchdown here.
The red zone has not been the Indians' friend tonight.
Not tonight.
I formation behind Martin under center. Turn and give to Marrero. Huge block by Thomas Devlin.
There
Cleared the way, and Zach Marrero walked in. Thomas absolutely destroyed
that
Angel
guy.
Vila on the outside.
Let's see that replay here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Trucked him. Holy cow.
Julian Valencia in for the extra point.
In the video game world, he got hit stuck.
Great snap. Kick is up and good. And the Indians take a 14-7 lead, 4:19 left to go here in the second quarter. So we've seen the Indians actually experience some adversity here.
Yeah.
You know, you can say the score should be where higher, could be, you know, whatever. Bottom line is they had a couple of times where they probably should have put points on the board and didn't, but they've bounced back with 2 great drives. What do they need to keep doing here for the rest of the second quarter to be happy with where they are at halftime?
Protect the ball. I think that's the key. Protect the ball. Get those 2 turnovers out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're doing well. You're moving the ball. Again, it's the inside, outside.
Yeah.
A pass here and there.
And honestly, defensively, one big play is all that Strasburg's really given up, is that one big play.
Yeah.
Heck of a play, but it's just been one play. You know?
Yeah. I mean, right now, if it ended right now, you go in there with your heads held pretty high.
Yeah.
You know.
Valencia tees it up on the near hash. Kicking left to right here. It's going to be taken by Gutierrez, as he will take it to the opposite side of the field. Wrapped up and tackled at the 30-yard line. Good coverage right there by the Indians.
Yeah, who's 61?
That is
Gio Galindo.
Yeah. That was a good play. He
Good
pursued
play by
that well.
Strasburg.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I should pull up my roster here.
Okay, Burlington, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Again, the offset pistol. Angel Vila will take it himself off the right side. A couple of missed tackles, and that's going to be an 11-yard pickup for Burlington and a first down. First time right there that we've seen the Indians miss a couple of tackles. They've been doing a great job of wrapping up, finishing plays, and then it's going to be a first down for Burlington as they go no huddle here.
Yeah. You know, and honestly, I expected this from the start. I expected them to come out with a little more pace right from the start. Kind of surprised they didn't.
Offset pistol again. Give is going to be to Conradi. He'll pick up 2, 3.
Yeah, maybe.
We're looking at a 2nd and 7 here for Burlington. They're going to continue no huddle. You've got Richardson and Conradi in the backfield. Taken by Vila, and he is going to be wrapped up for a loss of 3. It'll be back to the original line of scrimmage.
Alex Dickens there. Yeah.
Nice job shedding that block, getting off his guy, and making that tackle.
For the most part tonight, Strasburg's defensive line has really spent a lot of time in the Burlington backfield.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely controlling that line of scrimmage, which is huge. I mean, that is a critical function of defensive play, of having success on defense.
Absolutely. In my opinion, this is the biggest play of the first half. If you're the Indians, you love to get this ball back with north of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Get your hurry-up offense going a little bit, and all 3 timeouts still.
Yeah.
Gutierrez in motion. Boyd, the wide receiver low, closest to us. Vila rolls right, looking deep, nothing there, breaks down. He's going to take off. He's going to have a first down. He's going to have a lot more. To the 35, 30, 25, and down to the 21 before he's taken out of bounds by Egan Stevens.
Man, that was a huge play.
Wow.
You know, just that contain broke down. I mean, a little over pursuit on the outside, and just that one missed tackle at the line of scrimmage.
And the Indians look to be in man. They look to be in man, and when you're chasing receivers, you're not seeing what's happening behind you.
Absolutely.
And that gave him a big lane to run. Another big play.
Well,
keeps Burlington alive.
The other thing on that play, too, is he rolls to his right, and he gets the line and everyone to go to the right, and the whole right side of the Strasburg defense runs up the field.
Absolutely.
And then leaves him the whole left side to run. So,
receiver in motion. Vila takes the ball. He's going to toss it to Richardson. It's up in the air.
Velasco's got it.
Taken by Austin Velasco all the way to the 40-yard line. And we talked about it earlier. Austin Velasco makes big defensive play after big defensive play. And that was probably one of the biggest ones of the season right there to stop that drive.
They had a little bit of momentum going there. And
they really did.
God, what a read by Velasco. That was tremendous.
It was. And it looked like a bad pitch by the quarterback.
It
He
was.
threw
It
it
was
high.
high.
Yeah, and it just a tough play right there for Burlington, but Strasburg comes up with the timely turnover. And now 1:51 left, 3 timeouts, and you can run the ball with this much time in high school football because the clock will stop every time you get a first down. So they don't have to just go and try to start throwing it for the next 60 yards here.
Right.
You'd like to see them be aggressive, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great to go in up 21-7.
Yeah, absolutely. Strasburg breaks the huddle in the I formation. Martin under center. Hart high. Turner in the slot. It looks like it's going to be a delay of game. They were kind of slow getting that play in there. It didn't look to me like the quarterback got the count from the back judge. I didn't see it, honestly.
Yeah,
I didn't see
either,
him give the motion that the time was running down. That's a tough one right there. Play action. Looking deep again for Velasco, who was behind the receiver. And it looked like he got held as the ball was in the air, but they're not going to call it.
Yeah, he's, halfway through that route, he looked at the official saying, what's going on here?
Yep.
Be interested
And
to see this
in high school
replay.
football, you can be as physical as you want until the ball's in the air. And it looked to me like he had the kid. That's tough to see.
I love the play call, though.
Yeah.
I love the play call there.
That goes to that aggressiveness you were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
You want to be aggressive, but know that you still have plenty of time on the clock.
2nd and 15 from their own 39-yard line. 1:44 left. Clock is stopped. Martin under center. Turner in motion. Toss outside to Marrero. He's got a couple of blockers, kind of picking his hole
Makes
here.
a cut.
And he's going to pick up just about 6, close to 6, and we have a late flag on the backside.
Score on the flag. Penalty flag down on the flag.
As we wait here to see what this call is looks to be most certainly on the Indians by the reactions.
Yep. Probably an unsportsmanlike, maybe.
Well, I saw a Burlington player picking his helmet up.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
All right, the backpack's coming off. It's starting to get kind of heavy.
A lot of conferences between this officiating crew here tonight.
Yeah.
Personal foul.
Face mask. Okay.
And from the reaction, it looks to be on Austin Velasco. So rather than having it 3rd and 10, Burlington is going to choose to push Strasburg back. And that's going to go all the way to about the 21-yard line. And it is going to be 2nd and 28 for the Indians. Martin in the shotgun. Drops. Looking to the outside.
Thomas Devlin's got a block there.
Just couldn't quite hold that block. Good pursuit by Burlington right there. And that's going to be Boyd on the tackle. He's made a couple of really nice tackles today.
Yeah, he has.
I think that's a good play call there with that screen.
Yeah.
Because you send your receivers out, but you still get someone free to get a good chunk of yards there.
Yeah.
To set you up with, I don't want to say a better 3rd down, but you're not 3rd and 2 miles. You're now just a 3rd and a mile. So.
And it looks like Strasburg is content to let the clock roll.
Yeah.
Maybe a situation where if they do pick up the first down here, you'll see a little more urgency.
Yeah.
Martin empty, 5 wide. One of the few times we've seen him in an empty backfield. Out to the right, looking, going to find Velasco on the sideline, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It would appear at the 38-39-yard line for the Indians. So you've got 30 seconds left in the quarter. You have not played your best first half. I think I think they will tell you that.
Yep.
Right now, I think you just want to send this one away and see where you end up at the half.
I agree. This is the right call.
Yeah, I don't think you go for it because if something happens here, you give Burlington a short field.
Yep. Another high snap. Egan Stevens gets off a great punt.
Yeah. Oh,
It's going
takes
to take a
Burlington hop.
bounce. Yep. And
Golly.
we'll be down at the 34-yard line on the far side of the field. So 21 seconds here left in the quarter. If you're the Indians, you've got to watch something maybe with a little bit of trickery, something like that. You don't want to get caught with the whole defense flowing one way, misdirection back the other way.
Yeah, staying home, outside contain is critical. So, over pursuit is definitely frowned upon right here.
Yeah. It looks like the Indians' defensive backs are going to have their heels on the 50-yard line. I don't know if they're going to go much closer than that. I think they'll give up anything in front of them within a 12-yard range, just nothing over the top.
Yep.
So they got 4 defensive backs there.
Another timeout by Burlington there.
Another timeout right there. That's an interesting timeout.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Must have not liked what they saw.
Well, I think in my perspective, I like the timeout because you see what Strasburg's going to go set up in.
Gotcha.
And it gives you a chance to say, okay, now what can we call from this formation, or what can we call against this defense that we can take advantage of? So in that perspective, I like it.
Yeah. Wind seems to have picked up out of the west.
Yeah, my whole backside from my calves to my neck is telling me that's exactly where the wind is coming from.
I always look for the barbecue smoke. Where is the barbecue smoke going?
Yeah.
And it tells me it's blowing out of the west. 21 seconds left in the quarter. The Indians want to just do whatever they can to make sure they're on the good side of the scoreboard going into the halftime here.
Yeah.
Go in, make some adjustments, move the ball great, just haven't capitalized every single time.
Yeah.
Boyd.
You got to be careful here because you give up so much room. You look for some sort of hook and ladder play, or some sort of lateral that you can do here. That
He's keeping it all day.
Angel Vila's going to keep it, and he's going to be tackled before he goes out of bounds. That clock's going to keep running. Burlington with only one more timeout, and I think they're going to be content to head off. If you're Burlington, you probably feel really good about where you are right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think that in their minds they think, hey, we have not done the things that we wanted to do either, and we should be in this. And so, second half is going to be it's going to be a headbanger. I mean, there's going to be some physical play coming out because I think Burlington probably feels the same way Strasburg does going in right now, that they could have done more on the field in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you get in the state playoffs, teams are here for a reason. They don't put bad teams in the state playoffs.
Absolutely
and
not.
I think the Indians knew. I think they knew coming into this that they were going to have their biggest challenge in over a month and a half. And Burlington's proven every bit to be that.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you put Burlington in our conference, they win.
Absolutely.
And they're sitting in the same spot Strasburg is. Probably the same record. So I think matchup-wise, these two teams match up really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best 2-7 team I think I've probably seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They have speed. They're disciplined. Not a lot of penalties on either side, but I think Burlington may only have one penalty so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good tight second half.
Yeah.
We will join you guys with about 5 minutes left in the halftime. We leave you with a 14-7 Indians lead at the half. All right, well, welcome back to Winter Field here. We have about 3 minutes left in the halftime. Damon, I'm going to ask you, give your thoughts on the first half from the perspective of what did Burlington do well to stay in this game?
You know, I think they played physically, right? They showed that they can run with our guys.
Yeah.
You know, defensively, I thought they did really well, actually. Going in 14-7, considering the talent that this Strasburg team has, I think for them, they feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
But defensively, I thought they did really well. Offensively, a couple of big plays. But outside of those big plays, they didn't do much,
Yeah.
right? So, but I still think they feel pretty good about it, because when you come against a team like Strasburg with the speed and the talent that is here, man, that's daunting for anybody.
Absolutely.
And to kind of hold the line the way they did and limit Strasburg to 14 points when their average has got to be, somewhere in the 30s or something like
I
that?
believe it's mid-40s, yes.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. So to hold a team that scores 40 a half on average to 14 points, they got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, and I talked in the pregame about how the Indians can't help Burlington.
No.
And first 2 drives of the game, from 30 to 30, Strasburg so efficient, moved the ball at will, dominated the offensive line, right, in the trenches, won that battle, and then turnover, you know, and you'd like to be looking at the scoreboards, seeing a 28-7 score.
Absolutely.
But the reality is right now it's 14-7, and they're in a dogfight.
They are.
And they've helped Burlington way too much tonight.
I agree with that, and I think that was probably the gist of the halftime conversation, right, was let's not help them. Let's help ourselves. Let's play smart football, and let's do things the way we know how to do it. And, you know, so I got to believe coming out of the half here, you probably see a fired up, ready to go Strasburg team that is going to focus primarily on not helping them via penalties or turnovers. And anytime you can win the turnover battle, the chances of you winning the game increase exponentially.
Absolutely.
So,
and I have nothing but good things to say about this senior group, and I think the senior leadership will show itself in the second half. I have a ton of confidence in those seniors gathering guys up, holding them accountable, setting a high standard, which Strasburg football lives a high standard as it is, but really enforcing that and taking over with their leadership in the second half. It's going to be a big thing, I think, going forward here.
I agree. This is a deep roster. It's a deep roster with a lot of really high character players. And, you know, I think when teams respond well, I think they respond best when they respond to one another and not the guy calling the shots, right?
Absolutely.
And so that speaks to accountability. And with as many high character kids as they've got, I got to believe that the bulk of that conversation was between the players.
Yep. Good teams have great coaches leading them. Great teams have great players leading. And it's a player-led team, player-driven culture. So Burlington will receive the opening second half kickoff. Valencia tees it up near hash at the 40. Kicks it deep again. I mean, it's almost the exact same kick as earlier to Gutierrez. Bobbles it, and he'll get it back to about the 25-yard line. He'll be taken down. On the play by, it looks like 56. That's going to be Ian. Oh, my goodness.
Ian Ross?
Ian Ross. He only played youth football with my son for 5 years. What? Jeez, Lou.
I know.
Ian Ross with a nice tackle right there. Burlington will start 1st and 10 from their own 25. And their last 3 possessions, they've been starting at the 40 or further. Now they're pinned a little deeper. This will be a big stop for this Indians defense here. Vila again in the offset pistol. Turns and gives to Conradi, and the Indians are right there to stop that. That's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. Generous spot, in my opinion, on the far side.
I would agree.
Got back to the 24. Looked like he had been stopped 23, maybe even shorter than that. 2nd and 11 for the Cougars.
I don't know if you saw that, but Jesse Hilton absolutely destroyed someone on the inside there for Burlington.
I'm glad that I have you guys actually watching the interior of the defensive line, because I really don't know what to look for. So Vila again, shotgun.
Outside,
pitch.
there's that pitch again.
Yep, and the Indians are right there, missed tackle, but they're gonna gang tackle him and keep him at a loss of at least 5 right there. And 2 negative plays for Burlington, but 2 positive plays for the Strasburg defense right there to start off this second half.
That's what they need.
They look energized. They really
do.
do. They really look like they're playing with an energy. I think they're maybe a little upset at how that first half went. That's really good to see them responding that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can almost feel a change in the, even in here in the stands with all the people here, there's just an energy right now. So I think they're sensing that, playing off of it.
3rd and 15, send Richardson in motion. We've seen this a couple of times before. Rolls out to his right. Ian Ross with the pursuit. The pass is going to be dropped by 25 Gutierrez. He actually had a step on Paul Smith right there, who was chasing him across the field. Nonetheless, it's going to be 4th down and 15 from their own 20, and Burlington will no doubt have to punt this ball away.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the Indians should end up with tremendous field position.
Yeah. If I'm the Indians here, I try to bring a little bit of pressure. I don't bring everyone, but I try to bring a little bit of pressure just to cause them to make a mistake.
Well, and he hasn't really been kicking any kicks that have been returned anyways, so we're not really setting up the return. And as I say that, he kicks his deepest kick of the night, and that's going to roll out at about the 39, it would look like, for Strasburg. That's his best kick of the night right there, by far.
I think Marrero's kicking himself for not at least trying to grab that so it doesn't go another 8-9 more yards past him.
Yeah.
So.
All right, the Indians will start off their opening possession in the second half from the 39 on the far hash away from us.
What they do here is gonna be huge.
Yeah.
What happens in this possession?
You'd like to see him set the tone on the interior. Turn and give to Zach Marrero. Lead block again by Thomas Devlin. He's going to pick up 2. Well, I tell you what, and it could be just what we've been used to seeing from the opponents in our league, but Burlington really does a great job just getting to the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they pursue tremendously.
Yeah, they're fast to it too, and that's the thing, you know, when you get a defense that can react and read the play and react to that that rapidly, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah. Martin under center again, I formation behind him. Velasco in a tight end position here. Going to send Turner in motion. Turn and give to Marrero. He's met by a Cougar, bounces off that and gets 3 more. It's going to set up a 3rd and 5 here for the Indians from their own 44.
You know, Damon and I talked about during halftime that, you know, we mentioned it too with Burlington. Like, if they're in a different conference, I think they compete, if not win the conference. But, you know, this is probably one of the better 2-7 teams.
It's the best I've seen.
That I've seen, and they're physical, they're big, they're quick, they're. I mean, they just suffer from playing in that League 5 now, I guess.
Very deserving to be in the playoff field.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no question there.
Turner in motion, closest to us. Going to look outside to Velasco.
Oh,
what a tremendous catch.
What a catch by Velasco.
He's going to be pushed out at about the 38-yard line of Burlington, and I cannot state how difficult it is to catch the way his body was turned with one hand like that.
Yeah.
And the Burlington defensive back went for the interception instead of the hit, and Austin made him pay for it.
Yeah, he did. And
he went for the pick.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
You talk about catch radius, right? That is a perfect example and a perfect display of what Velasco brings to this. He can catch the ball anywhere you throw it. As long as it's within his reach,
absolutely,
he can get it.
Tremendous play right there.
But here's the other thing, the touch on that pass from Landon Martin.
Yeah.
He knew it had to get it up over the defender, but throw it light enough to get it there, or hard enough to get it there, but light enough so that it's not
incomplete.
Yeah.
Thomas Devlin
over the
still
left
on
side,
his feet.
still motoring, and he's going to pick up 9 right there down to the 30 of Burlington. Really important drive here for the Indians, and so far they've looked very solid.
Yeah, looks like a different squad right there right now.
An offensive line, it's going to look to set the tone in this quarter, because I don't think they were pleased with everything from the first half.
No.
They did a great job in spurts, but they're looking to dominate in this quarter.
Yeah.
Martin under center. Directly behind him is Thomas Devlin. They're going to send Caleb Hart in motion. The pitch. Landon sets a nice backside block right there. Caleb jumps up in, and it's going to looks to be plenty for a first down. I'm still seeing where the far side official is spotting him, and he is almost 4 yards short of where the near side official is spotting the ball.
Yeah.
Jeez. First down, Indians at the Burlington 26, yes.
And apparently we were calling a few of the middle school football kids. So for whatever reason, they're mixed in with the
on Max Preps.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
They are. So to the Burlington folks watching, sorry about that. That wasn't intentional.
We just do good scouting report. That's
Yeah. Zach Marrero up the middle, and he is going to carry a couple of Cougar defenders with him to the 10-yard line. That is a 16-yard pickup and another first down, and the Indians find themselves once again in the red zone.
A score here will be huge.
Confidence-wise,
Huge.
but also it'll take a little bit of that hop out of Burlington's step. You know, they looked very confident coming out after halftime.
Yeah.
But I think your defensive stop, getting an offensive score here, like you said, it takes a little wind out of Burlington's sails. It makes them now have to work a little bit harder. It changes their play calling a little bit. So you change their dynamic.
They're going to have Velasco wide on a slant if he runs it.
Great
keep
turning
it up.
give, and again, an absolute mauling by Thomas Devlin as the lead blocker. Zach Marrero was untouched.
That was a
Holy
huge
cow.
drive. That is the drive that can really set the tone for the rest of the game and carry this team to the win.
Jeez. Tremendous response by the Indians to come out and get that first score of the second half. Valencia on for the extra point. Looked like Burlington was way offsides.
Yeah,
no
like
call
it,
there, but it's going to be good. 21-7. Strasburg does a couple of important things, in my opinion, right there. The mental response is huge, but you put that one possession cushion underneath the one possession lead you already had. Yeah. It's really big to have that two possession lead.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I think devil's advocate here. If you're Burlington and you're the coach, you're like, hey, we're only 5.5 minutes into this quarter, and we still have a little bit of momentum. We're still moving the ball. We still get a pass play here and there. We're getting the outside. Hey, just be patient. It's going to happen. So I think they can still keep the momentum, but I think their dynamic changes a little bit. Their play calling changes. But
I wouldn't be surprised to see Burlington maybe go to the air a little bit more.
I would expect
that's where they've seemed to kind of not really expose us, but that's where they've seemed to do a little bit of damage against us is in the air.
And they seem to be more confident.
Yeah, they do. Valencia boot it from the 40, near side hash, and that one is going to be his best kick of the night, and it is going to be bobbled and taken at the 3 by Gutierrez. He's going to take it around the right side, and he has got a little bit of room, but it quickly closes down, and he is taken down around the 20-yard line.
Couldn't tell who was on the tackle there.
It was a sea of bodies from our angle.
Yeah, it was. Boy, he turned that corner, and I got a little bit worried there, but tremendous job by the Indians to close that off.
Yeah, outside contain, they maintained it there.
Ian Ross on the tackle again.
We're fairly close, but I feel like a pair of binoculars might do some good here.
That's just our old age speaking, Jeremy.
Oh, I still got 20/20. I'm still good.
All right, Burlington will start with his second possession of the second half. Again, in their what would be their traditional offset pistol formation. Boyd, the receiver closest to us. Knee-high snap back to Vila. He'll pitch it, and again. Just the pitch game has just not been there for them tonight. Lucky to recover that one, and Paul Smith in the backfield to make the tackle all the way back to the 11-yard line.
So we've seen them run that pitch play 3 times. 2 of them have been terrible pitches, and one probably was not great.
No.
So I got to think.
And one was picked off.
Yeah. So 4 times, actually. So I got to believe if you're Burlington, they're going to get away from that because I think the pressure inside is there too quickly to allow him to really get a good pitch off.
Looking at the replay, had he gotten the pitch to him, I don't think he goes very far because there were about 4 Indians in the backfield.
Yeah.
Send the receiver in motion. Vila, the quarterback, in the pistol.
Back to pass out to his right, over the middle.
Great coverage right there by Hayden Turner, and they were again looking for Boyd, who seems to be one of their more targeted wide receivers on the season.
Yeah, pretty athletic kid.
You've got Burlington at 3rd and 20, and just this is kind of where a defense can put a stranglehold on an offense right here. You know, look for the Indians to put a ton of pressure, and you're hoping for a turnover right here.
Absolutely, you are.
Vila again in the shotgun. 2 receivers low, 1 high. He's going to send Richardson in motion. Snap is good. He steps up, looking deep, and he had an open receiver.
Had a guy.
Wow.
Just overthrew him.
Yep.
Bergstrom got stuck there looking in the backfield. And
Yeah, he did.
Catch up.
Yeah, he did. Fortunate there for the Indians, but it's still a stop. 4th down deep in their own territory, and Burlington will be punting from their own end zone, and again giving the Indians a short field. Oof.
He gets him turned, looking inside, and they're lucky that he overthrew that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're looking at another big play score.
Good punt right here. Oh, and I think that Zach maybe could have returned that. I think he called that fair catch a little early, but you're in great position right there.
Yeah, the near side on that kick was wide open. I mean, the near side to us was just, there was nothing there.
So the Indians will take over. 1st and 10 from the Burlington 48, leading 21-7 midway through the 3rd quarter here. And this is the type of drive where I'm not going to say you can put a team away, but you can really put a lot of doubt in the minds of Burlington.
This is where you start putting the pressure on.
I love this matchup closest to us.
Yeah, I do too.
Slant inside right here.
It's going to be wide open.
Pitch to Marrero on the left side. He'll pick and choose for a second there and pick up about 3.
But we've seen that in multiple games this year. I mean, Wiggins, we talked about it against Holyoke. We talked about it against, Platte Valley or
Platte Canyon.
Platte Canyon, sorry. We talked about it against
Even Bennett that night.
Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, those plays are constantly open. They get such wide on that, and it's wide open.
2nd and 8 for the Indians as they break the huddle.
And even if you just run it 2 or 3 times a game, it's efficient, and it keeps guys off balance, the defense off balance,
Timeout Strasburg.
Timeout Strasburg. They were close to getting a delay right there, and a good timeout. Gives us a second to talk about a few of our sponsors.
Yeah, if I can get the book open here. My gloves are not working well with me here. So, Action Signs and Graphics, your one-stop shop for custom signs, lighted signs, routed dimensional signs, screen printing, embroidery, custom vehicle graphics, vinyl and mesh banners, flutter flags, pole flags, and decals. They take pride in everything they have produced for the I-70 corridor, the Denver metro area since opening in 2006. Their 4,000 square foot shop located in Strasburg has all the equipment to produce all your sign and graphic needs for your business. If you have questions or would like to place an order, please call 303-622-4007 or email actionsignsgraphics@yahoo.com. Birch Properties are proud black sponsors of the Strasburg Booster Club and Strasburg Athletics. Emily Birch is a full-service real estate agent helping clients buy and sell homes and land. Give her a call at 303-941-8361. Mention this ad, get $1,000 towards closing costs. Use my preferred lender and get up to $600 rebate and appraisal at closing.
As we come back here, Martin in the pistol, sending Turner in motion, 2 receivers low. Landon drops back, looking out to his right, finds Hayden Turner, who's going to turn it upfield, and he's going to get what looks to be enough for a first down for the Indians. Pickup of 8 on the play. Great protection by the offensive line right there. Landon had a lot of time to go from one read to another and get through his progression.
Yeah, and the way he stepped up and delivered that in the pocket, that's clutch. That's a clutch throw right there.
That's a great throw by Landon.
But a nice job by Hayden Turner as well. He went upfield. He saw the soft spot in the zone, and he sat in front of it and waited for that pass. So a nice job there by Turner coming in and setting in that zone.
Man, Burlington's got a lot of guys at the line up towards the line of scrimmage. Their entire team is within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Marrero going around the left side. He's going to break a couple of tackles, and he was real close to going there. 9-yard pickup for Zach on first down.
You know, you just talked about as many guys as they have in the line of scrimmage. You got 3, 4, 5, 6,
7 in the
7,
in the
8.
box.
Wow.
8 in the box.
And he still gets through there.
Yep.
I think that's a testament to the offensive line for Strasburg.
Absolutely. Yeah, and again, the offensive line does not get talked about enough, but huge part of what this offense does.
And we talked about it when we were at Middle Park. That coming into this season was one of their weakest points.
Yeah.
And one of their main concerns for this season.
Yeah. Thomas Devlin up the middle, and he should have plenty for a first down right there as he takes the ball just over the 32-yard line of the Burlington Cougars.
You know, and you talk about the psychological mindset of how this game plays out. When you have 7, 8 in the box and you still are giving up 7, 8, 9 yards a pop.
That's demoralizing to a defense.
It absolutely is.
Indians stay tight here. Velasco and Turner tight to the line. Devlin directly behind Martin, who's under center. He'll send Hart in motion. Lead blocker Thomas Devlin delivers another hit, and he allows Hart to pick up close to 7 yards on first down. And the Indians now getting yards in chunks. I mean, they're moving the ball, and they're getting yards in chunks now.
Well, they're wearing them down. I mean, that's what's happening. You put 8 in the box, and you're getting bodied with 8 in the box still, and you're getting lit up with 8 in the box. It wears you down. It wears you down.
2nd and 3 coming up for the Indians at the 20, we'll call it the 22, or 21 of Burlington, excuse me. Martin again under center. 2 receivers low. Devlin directly behind him. Marrero in motion. Turn and give to Marrero. Devlin lead blocker, and he is going to pick up the first down and plenty more as he gains about 9 to the 12-yard line.
So that's the 3rd time this drive I've seen that play ran. If you recall before the half when they punched it in, it was on that very same play. Yeah. Well, they did it down at the line, but Zach got down to about the 3-yard line, if I recall. And it was on that very same play. That's the 2nd time in this drive that I've seen him do that.
Well, so. and the pitch to Zach about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he gets a head of steam going forward. By the time he hits the line, he's going full speed, and he is a tough guy to bring down when he doesn't have a full head of speed, and when he does, he's darn near impossible.
They've got 9 in the box here.
Caleb Hart on the slant here would be a nice play.
Fake the pitch. Landon Martin around the right side, and Landon, please go out of bounds. There you go. That's my point guard, sorry.
What we talked about is Velasco, and we talked about the quick slant. But in that same play, Caleb Hart is wide open. Everyone's in the box except for the corner. That slant is there all day long, right. And that's a touchdown.
Yeah, and that replay, you can see everything comes right. If you can run that quick slant inside, that's gonna give you 6.
And it looks like Burlington is content to play outside leverage on the receivers, even when they're that wide too. Yeah. So.
And I think if you can roll it out where the play goes right, and Landon can come out to his left and set his feet, that's there.
Receiver high is Hart. Pistol formation. Devlin directly behind Martin. He drops back.
There he is.
To the right side, looking. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to pick up.
Is that a score?
An Indians touchdown.
Yeah.
From 10 yards out. Tremendous run by Landon Martin.
Absolutely fantastic run. You know, he had Turner in the back.
Yeah,
he had him back there waving his hand like, hey, I'm right here.
And you're now starting to see Burlington players getting up a little bit slower, right? You're starting to see it's wearing on them just a little bit. Yeah. And the Indians' depth is starting to show its face at this point.
Yeah, and that's Angel Vela. So that's their quarterback that's walking off the field slow right now. So you talk about demoralizing things that happen in a football game. That's one of them when you see your quarterback needing help off the field.
Julian Valencia on to add the extra point. He is 3 for 3 tonight. Waiting for the injured Burlington player to exit the field. We are now set. Martin takes the snap. It's up and good, 4 for 4 on the night. 1:14 left in the third quarter, and the Indians take a 21-point lead over the Burlington Cougars, and now have controlled. I mean, they've controlled the entire 10 minutes of this quarter, and it's all been played on this half of the field, on the Indians' positive half of the field.
Yeah, the defensive stand, and then that drive, along with the first drive, to put it to 21. I mean, those are big time plays, and those are big time momentum changers in this game. So Strasburg right now, has a ton of confidence as we move into the end of this quarter and into the fourth.
Yep. Tremendous response by the Indians here in the third quarter.
As a team you saw on film, you saw them preseason. Obviously, we're 10 weeks, 11 weeks past that. On film, you see a solid football team. But I think that first quarter, both teams played and got a feel for each other. The second quarter, you could see, okay, we can do this, we can do that. But I think Strasburg really has made a lot of adjustments to say, okay, we got to stop. We got to stop doing this and doing that.
Absolutely. Really big hit right there. And is that going to be Jesse Hilton on the hit?
I think it was.
Thomas Devlin.
Him and Thomas.
Okay. 25 Gutierrez, he went down hard right there, and a little slow going back to the huddle. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Burlington from their own 40.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas Devlin there. Jesse Hilton in pursuit.
Burlington now has to have a different type of urgency, I think. I think that they're going to have to open it up just a little bit right here, trailing now by 21. We now see Richardson at quarterback. Vila looks to still be hurt as he takes the carry around the right side for a gain of 1. And now Burlington looks to their backup quarterback. And it doesn't just affect the quarterback position because he moves out of a position that has to be filled by somebody else.
Yeah.
And then it kind of trickles down a little bit. And, looking at Burlington's sideline, they do not have a ton of depth. And missing their quarterback and leader, Vila, is a big one.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah. 2nd and 9 for Burlington from their own 41-yard line. Boyd, closest receiver to us. Pistol formation. He's going to send Gutierrez in motion. Chest high snap, and it looked like we had movement.
And get a false start, I believe. Looked like the guard or the tackle there on the left side. Couldn't quite tell.
5-yard penalty is going to take Burlington back to a 2nd and 14 from the 36. I got a couple of jamokes down here trying to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Martin brothers.
Yeah, I see that.
Gutierrez in motion.
Look
Chest
for the
high
slant.
snap. Yep.
There's the slant right there.
Boyd on the slant. Hayden Turner with the interception. What a play. He's obviously going to be called down right there. He was being touched, but wow, a tremendous break on the ball, strong hands, and he jumped that slant, and that's going to be Indians' ball at the 42-yard line.
That's demoralizing right there.
Yeah. Wow, just took it from him. Went through the receiver's body and just took it from him. What a play by Hayden Turner.
I didn't see who the intended receiver was at 23.
That was
Logan Boyd.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Angel Vila's up and moving around. Looks like he's going to come back in. So good to see that.
So that will conclude the third quarter. The Indians with a great third quarter, extending their lead to 28-7 and responding to the closest game they've had at halftime in some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong too. Strong response. I mean, you come out right away. You get a stop. You get the ball, get 6. You get another stop, get the ball, get 6.
Yep.
And that's. I mean, those are huge things in a game like this at this level, at any level, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. The biggest thing I can take away from that quarter and even going into the fourth here is that Strasburg's had tremendous field position since halftime. Just tremendous field position.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give a team as dangerous as Strasburg a short field to work with on every drive.
Yeah. No. You want to make them earn it. and you still got to earn it when you're inside their zone. But when they got to go 70 yards or 80 yards in lieu of 45, that's a big deal.
Well, and you look to what I mentioned earlier in the game is you do what brought you here.
Yep.
And you stay with what, and that whole third quarter was exactly what you've seen Strasburg do all year long.
So the Indians will start 1st and 10 from the 42 of Burlington. Martin under center is going to send Marrero in motion here. Turn and give to Zach Marrero. Starts on the right side, turns it back left. He is going to pick up 13 yards on first down, and it's going to be another first down for the Indians. Just chunks. Every single time it's just chunks.
The thing I saw on that play is the outside backers are getting up, and the middle backers are kind of sitting there waiting. But they can't wait because then the offensive line of Strasburg has already moved down.
They've already moved up a level on that.
And they're moving up a level, and now Zach's getting 10, 12, 14 yards when, they're waiting for him to get there. And they can't because he's too good to wait. And he's going to make you look silly.
Turn and give to Devlin. Stiff arms a couple of defenders, and he's going to pick up 6 on first down.
Again, they had 8 in the box there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the box.
Strasburg offensive line is getting to that linebacker level with ease and clearing paths. And I don't know a lot about interior play, but I can see that as they're just pushing people off the ball. Yeah.
And they're moving up to the middle linebackers.
Yeah, you get the O-line into that second level, that can change the entire dynamic of the running game.
You look at the two ends right now; they're right outside in the 9 gap or 8 on the tackles, and your guards are moving up to your linebackers, so you're leaving your middle open.
Yeah,
and it's just, you could just run it all day long.
Second down give is to Zach Marrero. He's going to pick up 2. It's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 21-yard line, it would appear. The Indians looking to put another score up on the board and kind of put a stranglehold on this game. 35-7 with 10 minutes left would be very close to insurmountable for Burlington.
Yeah, you go up 35-7 for all intents and purposes. That's about all she wrote.
Yeah. I formation behind Martin. He's going to send Turner in motion. Toss to Marrero around the left side.
We got a flag down.
We get a holding, I think, here.
It appeared to be a first down, but we're going to wait to see what the flag says to us here.
The other game playing tonight is Colorado Springs Christian and Buena Vista. Last I checked, it was 15-10 Colorado Springs Christian, but now it looks like it's 18-15 Buena Vista. So I don't know if that's accurate final. It says quarter 4, but so I'm not sure. It says under a minute left, so Buena Vista looks like they may advance.
So on that illegal shift, on that illegal shift right there, I think that they're getting Hayden Turner for coming towards the line of scrimmage little bit early.
Yeah.
He's got to kind of hold up a little bit there, and that's the second time, actually, I think that they've gotten him on that.
Yeah. Second quarter going the other way.
Yeah. Austin Velasco is going to be tight end formation here. Thomas Devlin close to Martin under center. 2 receivers to the top. Sim Marrero in motion. He's going to double back. He's going to stay on his feet.
You just can't. If you're Burlington right now, you've got to do something to stop this at the line, to stop the bleeding, because right now it's like Jeremy said. They're getting to that second level immediately. Right now. And you can't stop that.
Yeah, first down Indians after the 8-yard gain at the 17 of Burlington.
Your guards are getting up to your middle backers. Your tackles are taking on your ends.
Yep.
You got Spriggs taking on the nose, and Devlin's up going, who do I got here?
Yep, cleaning things up. Turn and give to Devlin. He's going to break a couple of tackles and stay up, and he's going to pick up about 4.
It only took 5 of them to get him down that time.
Yeah.
Only 5.
He's got to hang on to the ball right there, because the last time he had that many hanging on him, they did have a fumble, but making sure he keeps it there. Looks like 2nd and 6 for the Indians from the 13 of Burlington.
Well, as you folks can hear, the wind has really picked up now.
We're old and we breathe hard easily, but that's not us. That's absolutely a wind now coming out
Well,
of
double
the
check
South.
your messages. Make sure Lisa's not saying you're sniffing too much again.
I'm telling you, that night in Middle Park, I don't know why, but it was awful. Martin rolls out to his right, and he's
Has a
going to
man.
throw back across, and that is going to be caught by Zach Murrow, who holds onto the ball. He's going to be really close to an Indian first down at the 8-yard line.
Another great throw by Landon on the run.
Back across his body.
Yeah.
I mean, they traditionally they tell quarterbacks not to
Don't do that, yeah.
but tremendous accuracy and arm strength right there by Landon. Looks like it's going to be, they marked him short. It's going to be 3rd and 2 from the Burlington 9.
I think this is go for it regardless territory
Yep.
right now. You want to punch this in, you want to put this game away, and that's how you do it.
Yep. Turn and give to Devlin. He is
And he's
going to
gonna score.
into the end zone. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just do that.
Yeah,
I
or do
mean,
that. Yeah.
What a tremendously physical run by Thomas Devlin to essentially put this game out of reach now
Yeah.
for Burlington.
Yeah.
What a response by the Indians in the second half. I mean, it was quiet. It kind of felt weird as the teams were leaving going off in the half because we just haven't had close games
Yeah.
lately. And to come out, set the tone with the first stop, and then 1, 2, 3 drives for scores. Great job by the Indians.
Yeah, huge response. I mean, you could almost feel it, though. Oh, kick is blocked, the PAT. Blocked.
And I am not on the line, but more than a few times tonight, it has looked like Burlington's end guys have gotten a really good jump on the ball. A really good jump.
Yeah.
But a great block right there for Burlington, and they keep it to 34-7. 7:43 left in the game. Jeremy, what has the offensive line done in the second half that maybe they didn't do? I'm not saying they didn't do it in the first half, but what have they done a little bit better or at another level here in the second half for the Indians?
They've done a good job at really getting to the next level.
Yeah.
They've done a good job at taking on their blocker, taking on the guy in front of them, which allows the guy off to get to the next level. And when they do that and you get a lead blocker, it opens up holes. And if you create a gap and you know which way you're going, and the center knows I got to take this guy this way, and the guard and tackle take the guy this way, it leaves you a hole open on that, on either the even or the odd side.
Yeah.
And so they're taking advantage of the 3-4 defense right now.
Yeah.
And they're putting a nose and 2 ends on, and they're just pushing their way through it. But they're being physical.
Valencia tees it up at the 40, and again, the kick
Another
goes
really
to
good
Gutierrez.
kick.
Yeah.
Really good kick.
Gutierrez is going to take it back out to the 31-yard line where he'll be tackled right there. And that is going to be Thomas Devlin again. Coming up with big plays on special teams.
Well, the guy's all over the field every game.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what he does.
High energy guy.
Yeah.
So for Burlington, they will take over from their own 31-yard line, heading into a fairly stiff wind now at this point, which may hinder their throwing game a little bit. But you got to think that they kind of got to go into desperation mode right here.
Yeah, they're going to have to open it up a little bit.
So you can see that they're going to send 3 out. It's a single back now.
Pistol formation. It's Vilas back at quarterback now for Burlington.
Pump fake.
Little double move there, little slant go, and Hayden Turner was all over that. I mean, Hayden Turner right now is just saying, I need to stay on top of this receiver, not let anybody get behind me, and didn't bite on that. I think that they went after him because he jumped that last slant on the last possession.
That's right.
Great job by Hayden staying on top of that receiver. Second down.
Well, I think at this point you tell your defensive backs, nothing over the top. Keep them in front of you. Keep them in your hip pocket, but don't let them get behind you.
Again in the pistol. Receiver's tight for Burlington here. Chest high snap. As he rolls out to his right, Vilas looking for anyone to throw to, and it's going to be out of bounds and incomplete.
Man, he is under duress quick.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, you got four guys chasing him. Between Ian Ross, Egan Stevens, Jesse Hilton, and Al Dickens, between those 4.
Yeah, I mean, he has no time to set his feet, make a throw, do anything, and that's the D-line.
Yep.
I mean, they're just man on man. They're just beating them, getting through the line, creating the pressure that they need to force a turnover or errant throws like we just saw.
Yep. Vilas is going to be in the offset pistol. He's going to send 2 receivers up high. Again, Richardson goes in motion. Waist high snap. He'll drop back. Again, just having to throw immediately. Throwing as he's backpedaling. Just really hard for him to get his feet set and get anything into a throw.
Yeah, there's only one number 15 that can do that efficiently, and he plays in Kansas City. You know, I mean, they got to punt this away. Strasburg is going to get another possession here.
Zach Marrero will go back deep for the Indians.
Is that Zach or Hayden? That's Hayden, isn't it?
Is it Hayden? Excuse me.
Yeah, Hayden back there.
Oh, and the snap hits something or didn't come out right, and it's all becoming pretty difficult right now for the Cougars.
Yeah.
Now, high school is the rule the same if you throw that ball and it doesn't get to the line of scrimmage? Is that intentional grounding?
Yeah, I don't know, especially with it being on 4th down. I mean, you know, intentional grounding is a loss of down, but it looks like they're going to say that maybe he was in the grasp when he threw that, and I think they might call it down even further back.
Yeah. I have the basic general rules, but stuff like that I'm still
yeah, and you're still ahead
learning.
of me, so you're even ahead of me on that. And it is intentional grounding. Great job. Yeah, great eye right there. So it'll go back to the spot. It's a spot penalty. And the Indians will be set up with a very short field, the 16 of Burlington, as the Indian students appear to be sensing a win here tonight.
The students, the fans, the Palm squad, the cheerleaders, everybody.
Heart split low. Going to send Marrero in motion. Doubles back again and carries a couple defenders with him for a gain of 5 right there. I think the Indians right now just going to be content to keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock going.
Yep. 7 minutes to go, so.
Yeah. You want to stay healthy looking forward into next week.
Yeah, so next week, if Centauri wins, they come here.
They come here.
Yeah.
If Gunnison wins tomorrow, we travel to Gunnison. In my opinion, and I've said this all week, I think that home field is overrated in high school football.
I agree.
I would not mind traveling. I wouldn't mind having it here. You know, I mean, you play whoever you got to play, but I really don't think that having to travel affects high school kids as much as it does at the higher levels.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because they travel in every sport.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's, you know, and especially for teams like out here on the Eastern Plains or even the Western Slope, like you've got to travel to play. So,
On the Burlington 4-yard line.
I agree with that statement.
Martin under center is going to send Marrero in motion. Turn and give to
Thomas up the
Thomas
gut.
Devlin.
Get in there, Tom.
Thomas is going to be stopped a yard short, it would look like. Maybe a yard and a half. And we'll have a 2nd and goal coming up.
Tackle on the play by number 7.
Is there any update on the other game going on in 1A tonight?
Down Indian.
I haven't checked again.
2-yard line.
I'll look that up.
We were, what, 15-13?
18-15. 18-15 Buena Vista.
Yeah, it's still showing 18-15.
Gotcha.
So.
I formation behind Martin. Turner in motion. Turn and give to Zach Marrero, trying to just pick up that last 2, and he's going to be held short again. 3rd and goal. Let me throw this out there. If it becomes 4th and goal, do you maybe give Julian Valencia a chance to kick, preparing for maybe a different situation?
I think you have
going
to.
forward.
Yeah.
I think you have
I think you
to.
do.
Because inevitably it's going to come down to a game that tight.
Absolutely.
And you're going to need that
Absolutely.
at one point to get the dub. So
And it's a confidence builder for Julian as well.
absolutely.
When you look at the ball, where the ball's at,
Yeah.
it's essentially an extra point.
It is. It is.
And you're a yard and a half closer, so.
Turner in motion. Martin's going to drop, and that is going to be knocked down by Vilas from from Burlington, and we have that exact situation, 4th and goal here.
But that was a wide open slant there. Burlington just did a nice job of getting their hands up, blocking that.
And he was looking for Zach Marrero, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.5 to go here, so I think you got to, right? I mean, they're not going to, but I think that would have been the smart play right there. I mean, you put 6 on the board, okay.
Yeah.
But still.
And even if you don't convert here, you put Burlington at, a 1st and 99.
Yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 1.
Heart in motion. He's got a few blockers. Great bounce to the outside. He's going to take that in for another Indians
score
touchdown.
For the Indians.
That pushes the score to 40-7 for Strasburg. More importantly, Strasburg has now outscored Burlington 26-0 in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, just an unbelievable response.
Yep.
Really. I mean, you come out and in 3 consecutive drives now, 4 consecutive drives you've scored.
Yep.
Yeah. But I caught the tail end of the beginning of your conversation of this. I think this attests to the leadership of the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the senior leadership, the upperclassmen on this team, and I think it accounts for that. As you said, we have great coaches, but I think it's the players that shine the coaches and make them look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is an attest to that.
Player-led teams often become very special teams.
No doubter there. Valencia converts.
That puts us at 41-7, 4:22 left here in the game. And again, and I want to give a ton of respect to Burlington because I thought they played a tremendous first half.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And I think that they had us guessing. We weren't dictating. We were guessing. I think that they were just as physical as us,
Yeah.
And but you said eventually, I think our depth and we're a very talented football team, and I think our depth and talent eventually kind of wore them out. But hats off to Burlington because they fought hard in that first half. And they continue to fight, and much better team than what their record says about them.
Yeah, no question about it. And we talked about it a little bit coming out of the half. The way that they kind of kept Strasburg, not sure what the heck they were going to do, right? I mean, you could kind of sense it. They just didn't know what to do, how to beat them. To hold them to 14, that's impressive.
Absolutely.
Oh,
and I think he got blocked into him. I don't think that was a hit. Yeah, I think the Strasburg player was blocked into him. Burlington will take it from their own 20-yard line here. So looking forward, I feel safe in saying looking forward. What does Strasburg need to do next week, regardless of the opponent? What does Strasburg need to do next week to get off to a quick start against whoever they have?
Well, you got to convert your red zone opportunities, obviously. You got to eliminate mistakes, and you gotta remain physical. I mean, that's just how it has to be played at any football at any level.
It looked like our adjustment coming out was that we were no longer going to run the ball on the perimeter. We were just going to kind of just hit the middle, and we were just going to play smash mouth football up the middle.
And that's kind of what I thought coming into this is that how they ran between the tackles would really dictate how things were going to work. Oh, they got caught in an over pursuit there.
Great job catching back up to the ball. Gutierrez will get a gain of about 6 right there on that double pitch play.
But yeah, you could definitely sense that coming out at the half, the level, the intensity level kicked up a notch or two. And I mean, I could feel it up here and I could see it on the field. So obviously they really had some serious discussions and figured out exactly what they wanted to do and said, let's set the tone, and did that.
Well, I think, too, you look at the two teams you potentially could play. You look at a team like Gunnison, you don't know anything about them, And, do you want to play a team like that? Or You know, do you want to play a team like Centauri where they have some history, they have some experience playing them. You know, and in my view, I'd rather play Gunnison because I think Centauri, the way that they played Strasburg last year, as physical and as tough as that game was, you know, Centauri obviously going and, you know, playing lineman in the state championship game. You know, Centauri losing some seniors and some big players.
A lot, yeah.
But that's a team that I think is halfway in the heads of some of these Strasburg players.
You know, speaking as a head coach, I would always prefer to play the team you don't have history with.
Yep.
To be honest, something new. I'm not saying that, you know, mentally we have a block against any team, but you don't want to have familiarity, and for a couple of reasons. I feel like Centauri probably knows us pretty well. Our system stayed consistent for the last 6-7 years. You know, as does any really good program in anything. I mean, you keep your system consistent, and you just do what you do better than everybody else. But I think even if you have to travel, as a head coach, I would prefer to play somebody less familiar.
Absolutely.
No history.
Yeah. I think it benefits you in a lot of ways. But mainly, like you said, they haven't seen you. You know, Gunnison doesn't know what Strasburg does. I mean, they're going to know when they watch some of the film. They're going to see what we do. But to your point, Jeremy, you know, mental makeup and kind of where your psychological standing is when you're facing an opponent that you're familiar with, that can really, I mean, whether people want to talk about it, admit it or not, it's there. You know, it's there.
I agree.
It might be on the very back of the mind, but it's still there.
3:13 left on the clock here. Burlington faces a 3rd and 4. Looks like from their own, let's call it the 26-yard line. Vila's still in at quarterback for Burlington. He's going to send Richardson out to his right, bottom of the screen for you guys. Knee-high snap as he's going to drop back and just immediately it's never a good sight for an offensive team when the linemen are standing there looking at things happening.
Back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you got to feel for Vela right now. I mean, he honestly, by the time the ball gets to him in the shotgun, the Indians are already past the line and almost there. So.
I mean, they're just sending a linebacker, and whatever gap is open is where he's going. And it's not even like they're sending the blitzer. He's just standing in his regular spot, and on the snap of the ball, he's running right through.
4th and 7 here for Burlington. Vila drops back. He's going to pass it outside, and it's going to be taken with a nice, strong physical run by Conradi. And that'll be a 1st down for the Burlington Cougars.
You know, and you were talking about, you know, the testament to Burlington here, but, you know, I think you look at their roster and, you know, they have a handful or so seniors that, you know, they're going to lose, but they got a lot of juniors and sophomores that are going to make up this team next year. And I think they even come in better than where they're at now.
1st and 10 for the Cougars from the 33-yard line. Vila will send Richardson in motion. He'll take the snap. Look out to Richardson's side. He's got a couple of blockers in front of him. Along that far sideline, picking up about 5 on the quick screen.
Yeah, so that's how they're combating. That pressure is just quick passes to the outside and put the ball in the hands of someone to make a play.
Any route that's slow developing right now for Burlington has no chance.
No. And you look, and maybe this is something they should have done earlier in the 3rd quarter on that. You know, quicker plays and built, like you mentioned, you know, before, is that quicker tempo. You know, move faster. You know, don't give Strasburg a lot of chance to, you know, to learn from plays and, you know, get set up.
Vila's going to send Conradi down to the line of scrimmage out to his right side.
Oh,
low
terrible
snap. Looked like they were trying to run a reverse right there, and the play
Ball's
was doomed
down.
from the beginning.
Strasburg have
Ball
that.
is out.
I think it's Strasburg
and the Indians
ball.
are saying they have the ball.
No?
No, it's going to stay with Burlington.
Yeah, that's a really bad snap there. I mean, it hit him in the shoelaces. That's tough when you're in shot, you know.
Especially when you're running a timing play with some misdirection. It
no
has to
question.
be perfect. The snap can't be off. So the Indians, looking forward, we're going to move to 9-1 on the season. Lone loss to Lyman. Burlington's going to fall to 2-8. Their season will come to an end. I said it earlier, very deserving of being in the playoff field. I think that anybody that doubted that should have seen this team play in the first half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, second half, like we've talked about, Strasburg just came out with a higher level of energy. But to be blunt, I didn't think that Burlington came out flat.
Yeah.
I just think Strasburg elevated their level, one level above.
Yeah.
And that's kind of took control.
That's what championship teams do. They really do.
And they've maintained that level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're looking at a minute left here, and they're still at that level. They haven't lowered down to say, okay, well, we're up this much. They've maintained that intensity that they came out with.
If you look to the left side, looking for Boyd there, and the pass is going to be incomplete. The Indians are going to take over and undoubtedly will go into the victory formation here.
Yep. So I wanted to ask you, talk about both of you guys as head coaches. When you come out from a half like that, how hard is it to not fall to the level that to keep your intensity level up and not play down to the level that your opponent is exhibiting?
Yeah.
How difficult is that?
In our program, at half, we talk about the first 4 minutes of the third quarter being probably the most important 4 minutes of the entire game. A couple of things that we talk about are, you come back out from halftime, not everybody's back from getting their nachos. The gym's kind of dead.
Yeah.
The atmosphere doesn't have a lot of buzz in it. And what you do in that first 4 minutes after the second half, in our program, it's our belief anyways, is as important as any other time frame during the entire game.
Yeah. Jeremy?
I think you have to, and my approach this season was, no matter what the outcome of the first quarter was, whether you're ahead or down, it's done. You can't look at it anymore. You have to say, okay, this is what we need to fix, this is what we need to do better, and then you have to capitalize on that, and then continue to do what you've done well the whole rest of the game. And
right.
But I heard this quote, but you can't look in the rear of your mirror because that view is so small.
Next play mentality. Exactly.
You got to look in that front window because it's a lot bigger and your view's a lot better. So
yeah,
just keep looking forward, and that's my thing. Just move forward and do what you're doing, and take everything is going to take care of itself.
As the clock hits 0-0 here, the two teams line up, and the Indians will be advancing to the next round. They will be in the final 8 in the 1A field, playing the winner of Centauri and Gunnison. If Centauri wins, the game will be here in Strasburg. Gunnison wins, we will travel to the Western Slope.
That should be a good game.
Absolutely. I kind of want to tune in on NFHS tomorrow and check that one out.
Yeah.
Well, great night here guys.
Yeah.
Great night here tonight, guys. It was my honor to be with you guys. It was fun to call this game.
Yeah, it was great.
I think the Indian players and coaches are going to be really, really happy with what they did in that second half.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no question. To come out like that and respond the way they did is just a tremendous response. I mean, we've said it a few times, but they had, you go in at half, and this team across the field has punched you in the mouth a couple times, and you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And that was really a gut check for the Indians, and they said, hey, we can do this, and they responded well. Really encouraging, really, really encouraging.
And you got to think that the narrative across the state when looking at Strasburg in the playoff bracket is they play in – people are saying this. They play in a weak league. We want them. Like, we want to see them. I think after tonight, I don't know that teams are going to have that same feeling.
I would venture a guess that is going to be a solid no. The book is the book, right? The book isn't always right, though.
Yeah.
And so – yeah, I think Gunnison watches this film, Centauri watches this film, they might be saying, hey, they got some guts.
Yeah.
They can play. They're going to come hard, and they're not going to quit.
Jeremy, your final thoughts before we take off tonight?
I think the grit that they showed,
Yeah.
and coming out and stepping up above. The leadership of this team is great, and the coach allowing the players to be leaders.
Yeah.
Is key. And I think moving forward, to deal with the grit, to deal with the adversity, to get a team to come in and just, like you said, smack them in the mouth, is important for this team moving forward. Because I think, like you said, you do play in a conference that, again, is fairly easy. You do play some tough opponents and skilled players and stuff that way, but overall, you have an easy way to get there. And I think this coming in, and it's going to get tougher each week. The better teams are going to win, and it gets tougher each week. So moving forward, again, this game's done. It's over with. You go back, you reset, and I don't even allow my guys to watch the game tomorrow.
Okay.
We do that as a team.
Okay.
I know they're going to.
Yeah.
But because that's what they do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What, kids don't listen? No, come on.
But I think you do that as a team, and you say, hey, this is our plan, and this is our goal, and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then we're all on the same page, And again, 1 week at a time, one opponent at a time. But again, stay doing what has brought you here.
Yeah.
And what you do so well. And that's solid defensive play. Not outstanding, but solid defensive play. And outstanding running by Thomas and Zach Marrero.
Yeah.
And great quarterback play by Landon.
Managed the game very well.
Yeah.
I think that we'll look at that first quarter as a little bit of a blessing for this team. They had to face something they hadn't seen since non-conference. I think at the end of the year, wherever we end up, we'll look back and say that first quarter against Burlington was probably pretty big for us.
Yeah.
And the Indians came out and they made a statement in the second half, and I call it a statement win because that's a good team over there. The record doesn't say it, but that's a good team over there.
Yeah.
And you controlled them for basically 3/4 of a game and come out with a 34-point win. So
Yeah, big time response. Really encouraging to see that. I was really, bluntly coming out at the half, I thought, well, this is gonna show us who Strasburg is.
Yep.
And the way they responded was fantastic.
Tremendous.
And so really expect to see the best of them going into next week. I think there's a lot you can take from this game.
Yeah.
Especially how the first half happened, So there's a lot you can take from it, and I look forward to seeing where it goes.
Absolutely. All right, fellas, it was a great time.
Yeah.
For Damon Johnson and Jeremy Bongard, I'm Kyle Bowlers. Thank you for joining this broadcast tonight from Winterfield. Again, the Indians will move on to the round of 8 after beating Burlington 41-7, and we will look to see who they have after tomorrow. Till next time, thank you guys for tuning in.